Yeah, yeah. Ready to get it in. Monday night. You know, I do this every Monday night, 9 p.m. GPTV1 Uncut live stream. You know, I love to do this. I love to perform for the audience. I'll be here every Monday night, 9 p.m. Ready to kick it with you. And you know I'm going to get it in. You know I got a hot topic. This is one of those cases that's nationwide, much like the Diddy case. The Alexander brothers. It's getting a lot of traction right now in the media. One of the biggest stories out there right now. And it reminds me a lot of the Diddy case. It definitely do. Tonight, we're stepping into a case that's shaking the federal courts and pulling back the curtain on a world most people only see from the outside. The Alexander brothers, three men who built their lives on luxury, access, and influence, now stand accused of running a pattern of exploitation that prosecutors say lasted more than a decade. This isn't just another headline. This is a story about power, privilege, and the shadows behind the party culture facade. Witnesses are taking a stand. Testimony is getting graphic. And the prosecution is painting a picture of these three brothers who weren't just living fast, they were allegedly hunting in plain sight. Tonight, we're breaking it down, the timeline, the testimony, the strategy, and the stakes. No hype, no spin, just clarity, context, and the truth behind what's unfolding in that courtroom. If you're here for real analysis, not the surface level stuff, lock in, hit the like button so this conversation reaches the people who need to hear it, and subscribe if you want to stay tapped into every layer of this case as it develops. Let's get into it. And of course, I'm marching to 9,000 subscribers. So don't forget to hit that sub button. Oh yeah, y'all gotta check me out on Twitch on Thursdays. I got GPTV1 Uncut open files. It's strictly for Twitch. Shouts out to the people over there on Twitch. Thank y'all for that. I got a couple of followers over there, and I've just been doing an overhaul on all the GPTV1 channels and basically rebranded the whole thing. So we got a whole ecosystem going on. So definitely want to build something over there on Twitch. Shouts out to everybody on YouTube. But the Alexander brothers, this case reminds me of Diddy. He basically they getting charged with the same thing, basically. Definitely remind me of Diddy, and these guys seem to be more wilder than Diddy. Like literally. I want to look at some of their background. Let me go over here. Okay, what we got here? Who are the Alexander brothers? You got Tal. Hopefully I'm saying their names right. Got Tal, Oren, and Alon Alexander. Two luxury real estate moguls and one security executive. So we talking about big bucks here, buddy. Big dollars, big money. Big money. And, you know, that stuff can buy you access, for sure. They built a high-end lifestyle around celebrity access, global travel, and elite parties. Prosecutors say this was the bait. That's what they say Diddy was doing. And shouts out to the track in the background. That's a narrative-driven audio experiment with the song Love for the Money. But anyway, that's sort of what they were saying Diddy was doing. What they're charged with, facing federal sex trafficking charges, including allegations of drugging and raping women and girls over more than a decade. From 2008 to 2021, Tal faces 9 charges. Oren and Alon face 8 each. Prosecutors say over 40 women as accused, at least one brother. Woo, that's a whopping thing right there. Man. But yeah, money can buy you access. We all know that. But you know, they say they may be womanizers, but they didn't drug nobody. You know they're gonna fight that case. I want to go to one of these news reports and see a little bit about this case right here. Stay tuned, fam. Thank you for joining me for sure. Let's get a little backdrop on this little story right here. The Alexander brothers, powerful access, millions of dollars. Federal prosecutors call them predators, not party boys. Y'all heard this story right here. It's been heating up. And this is a federal case, so, you know, they will have to come out with like sketches and all that type of stuff. Let me share my screen, family. Let me see what these people talking about on here. Share the screen. Alexander brothers. You know, I'm a big fan of Law and Crime, Sidebar, Jesse Weaver. Let's get some sound going on. Let's go, fam.
Prosecutors claim the 3 engaged in a sex trafficking conspiracy of drugging and raping women. But the defense countered. They have said that they may be womanizers, but they're not criminals. We're going through some of the shocking moments so far in this trial. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
So there's always a conspiracy theory, at least with the brothers it is. And when P. Diddy was going through all that, you know, he said he sued those liquor people. And Diddy just really started talking a lot of pro-black stuff, you know. He's really not known for that, but he started doing that. And many people, he said he pissed some people off. The girl was one of them, Cassie. She was one of them. So what a conspiracy theory had about these guys? Who did they piss off? Let's go.
All right, I know this is a little bit of a 180, but I have to tell you, this is an important sponsor. This is a very important product for all you guys out there. If you care about taking care of your skin, Particle Face Cream. This makes your routine. Alexander Brothers.
I want to add some guitar.
Right to another ad, back to back. They gotta get their money for sure. Let's go.
Federal criminal trial has begun. Now, we've talked about them before here on Sidebar, but these are the brothers in the real estate and security markets who, according to prosecutors, use their wealth, their status, their resources to essentially induce women to go on trips with them, take them out, promise them luxury items or luxury experiences, and then proceed to drug and sexually assault and rape them. We're talking about Alon, Oren, and Tal Alexander. Now, they have been described by prosecutors as partners in crime. They are accused of being part of a sex trafficking conspiracy that ran from 2008 to 2021. They have pleaded not guilty to multiple federal charges. Actually, let me read you from the latest indictment, because there's always been changes. We have conspiracy to commit sex trafficking. They're facing 12 charges, by the way. Conspiracy to commit sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. That's with respect to one victim. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. This is a victim 2. Inducement to travel to engage in unlawful sexual activity. Sex trafficking of a minor. This is a minor victim 3. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, victim 4. Count 7, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, victim
list,
5.
really
Count 8,
list.
sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, victim 6. Count 9, inducement to travel to engage in unlawful sexual activity, victim 6. Aggravated sexual abuse by force or threat or intoxicant, victim 7. Count 11, sexual abuse by physical incapacitation, that's victim 7. And then count 12, sexual exploitation of a minor, victim 8. Again, they've pleaded not guilty to the charges, and I will tell you, they could face life in prison if they're convicted. Okay, this is on top of, by the way, state charges in Florida that apparently Oren and Alon also face with respect to allegedly.
That's what I wanted to know. How much time were they facing?
Sexually assaulting women. There are also dozens.
Let's see what's going on in their hood.
Dozens of civil lawsuits that are mounted against them.
This was what's going on in their hood.
So I want to go over what has happened so far in this trial, because I will tell you right now, the allegations against them are incredibly heinous. And these guys, I can't emphasize this enough, they were fixtures in the New York and Florida nightlife and societal scene. I remember about like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I knew their names. Like, people would talk about them. I never met them, but I heard about them. I mean, they were staples. And so the idea of what they were accused of doing behind the scenes is pretty remarkable. So right now, I want to talk about what we're seeing in this federal trial. And for that, let me bring on my special guest. I'm joined right now by former Palm Beach County State Attorney Dave Arenberg, who is in studio with me. Good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, that's his love. Well, we'll listen to a little bit of him. I don't want to play his whole episode. No, I don't want to take a lot of this stuff, just a couple minutes, but we'll see the first question. Let's do it.
Thank you so much.
Great to be back up here. It's cold up here.
It is cold, so I appreciate you making the trek. I actually saw you outside. You're not wearing a warm enough jacket. I hope the audience knows.
I'm from Florida. We don't even own jackets.
This is true. By the way, before we get started, if people want to follow your content, where can they follow you?
Yes, on Substack at Dave Arenberg. I also go by Florida Lawman.
Yep.
But I'm also on all social medias. But Substack, subscribe.
Talk to me about these charges that they're facing. So 12 different charges. Some people would say, well, what is sex trafficking? What is sex trafficking conspiracy? Right. What is this, sexual exploitation of a minor? They might have a familiarity with it with respect to Diddy, but what exactly are we talking about here?
Yeah. And the Alexander brothers have the same lawyers as Diddy, and they're
Tenny Garagos, Mark Agnifilo.
They were very successful with Diddy, and also they're employing the same defense as Diddy employed. So we'll see how that goes. As far as sex trafficking, that's the most serious allegation, because that could get you life in prison. That is commercial sex. That is.
And if you're flying those women in, that's really what that is.
Paying someone, not necessarily in dollars, it could be in drinks and anything, in exchange for sex. Now, if it's adult sex trafficking, you need force, fraud, or coercion. If it's a minor, you don't need any of that.
So they're saying they were using the promise of luxury experiences, travel, accommodations to lure and entice women to these places where they were forcibly raped or sexually assaulted. So in other words, where there might have been difficulty in the Diddy case to say that, and remember, he was found not guilty of sex trafficking. Would you say this is a straightforward definition? Like if it was a law exam, a more straightforward, legal definition of sex trafficking, it hits the elements here if the allegations are true?
I think it's pretty similar to Diddy. I mean, the fact that we look back and see how Diddy was acquitted of the most serious charges doesn't take away that the allegations were just as serious as the ones against the Alexander brothers. I think the difference for me is that the Alexander brothers have so many victims who are ready to go and testify at trial under pseudonyms, but testify, and who have their own word.
Diddy didn't have all of that. These guys got like 40 women lined up to testify against them.
They have their own text messages where they gloat, and that's something you didn't see as much with Diddy, where his own words came back to haunt him. He was very careful. The Alexander brothers less so.
Okay, so I want to give two competing.
All right, let's stop it right there. Like I said, I don't want to play his whole episode on this platform right here. But yeah, these guys got 40 women lined up to testify against him, and Diddy didn't have all of that. And Diddy danced around a lot of that stuff, and he protected himself in a lot of ways. And a lot of people didn't agree that Diddy case was a RICO. But these guys facing similar charges. And Diddy had his little circle of women he would do that to. And he will bring in these other sex working guys to come cross state lines and all that type stuff. But these guys facing life in prison for this stuff. I'm trying to look up some more stuff with these guys right here. I had something else lined up. Let me see what else I got. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Here we go. Let's check out ABC News. You know, I like to get credible sources. This is GPTV1 Uncut every Monday, 9 p.m. Let's check out and see what ABC is talking about. Let me share my screen, family. All right. There we go.
Appear to have it all, from luxury mansions to parties in the Hamptons to professional accolades. But this Manhattan courtroom is now the center of a far different reality. Twin brothers Oren and Alon, along with older brother Tal, now standing trial on federal sex trafficking charges, facing potentially life in prison if found guilty.
Whoa.
Alon, Tal, and Oren Alexander had a meteoric rise to both power and fame. But according to federal prosecutors, that power and fame hid a much darker side.
In opening arguments today, prosecutors saying the men used their power and prestige to conspire to rape and drug dozens of women, including at least one minor.
Each of the brothers wore civilian clothes. We had seen them in court previously in jail garb, but they were granted permission by the judge to wear suits, open collars, and they sat at the defense tables with their lawyers. And there are a lot of defense lawyers who are there to help try to convince the jury that
they got Diddy lawyers
may have been womanizers, but they were not sex traffickers.
Prosecutor Madison Smizer saying
they done pissed somebody off.
As party boys.
It's usually how it go, right?
Predators.
Prosecutors allege that the Alexander brothers used drugs, alcohol, and at times brute force to force young girls as young as 17, as well as young women, to have sex with them and rape them against their will.
The first witness to take the stand, an alleged victim, claiming she was drugged and raped by Alon after an NBA Finals watch party at actor Zac Efron's apartment in 2012.
She went, and there she said she had a couple of drinks. She even tried ecstasy for the first time, and then later the whole group went to a club where she said a drink was spiked, and the next thing she remembered, waking up in Alon Alexander's bed with him raping her.
All three men have pleaded not guilty and denied the allegations. ABC News reached out to Zac Efron and did not hear back. The Alexander brothers' defense team firing back in their opening argument, saying, while the men may have been promiscuous womanizers, they aren't criminals.
The defense, using crude language, saying that what occurred might make the jury cringe, but they're not here for the quote-unquote a-hole award.
Defense attorney Tenny Garrett saying their behavior
case
wasn't trafficking, it was dating and hooking up. Several members of the defense team have represented high-profile clients like Sean Combs.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Diddy defense was saying. Now they're using it with these guys. I get it, though. I get it. Yeah, that sounds like that Diddy defense. I'm trying to go back a little bit. Let's go.
A-hole award.
Defense attorney Tenny Garrigo saying their behavior wasn't trafficking, it was dating and hooking up. Several members of the defense team have represented high-profile clients like Sean Combs.
But the defense is painting a very different story.
Shouts out to Instagram.
Buyer's remorse, something very
Follow me on social media.
to the Sean Combs trial, maybe because the defense is almost the exact same.
The Alexander brothers' arrest in December 2024 made national headlines.
Follow me on Facebook,
real estate mogul
Instagram,
federal charges
X.
for enforced sex trafficking.
Arrested on federal sex
Twitter.
trafficking charges when authorities allege
Alon, Oren, and Tal Alexander face charges in New York and Florida.
According to the indictment, federal prosecutors say the three men repeatedly and violently drugged and raped dozens of women, even allegedly filming some of the acts.
Oh, they got some film, huh?
This conduct, as alleged, was heinous.
Oh, that was your boy.
Today, prosecutors say they intend to show a recording of Oren Alexander's alleged rape of a then 17-year-old.
Prosecutors told the jury this
Man.
video that they say shows the sexual assault of a then 17-year-old who will testify under the pseudonym Amelia. It's going to show that this woman blacked out and was incapable of saying no. The defense has a different characterization. They say the same video is also going to show that she willingly drank, took drugs, and put herself in a bad situation.
Oren and his older brother.
Okay, let's stop it right there. 17 years old. And all of them say they black out. He's saying that stuff don't happen. And you know, we call that being in the room with people. You go in them rooms, this is what you're going to get. And they're not getting that corner, standing on the corner type of drugs. They're getting that top-notch stuff. Get that top-notch shit. The shit that puts you on your ass. It's facts. Let's look at some more of their background. Okay. So the prosecutors are prosecution's framing predators masquerading as party boys. The opening statement themes: prosecutor described the brothers as partners in crime who use money, status, and celebrity proximity to lure victims. So apparently they know celebrities and all that type of stuff. And I think they had some type of reality show or something where they go out there and do their real estate business. Quote from Assistant U.S. Attorney Madison Smicer. I guess that's how you spell it. These three brothers masqueraded as party boys when really they were predators. Their methods allegedly included alcohol, drugs, including Molly, brute force, isolation in private residences or hotel rooms. Yeah, you know these guys gonna be in all these luxury places. The playbook: prosecutors say the brothers followed a 12-year pattern. Meet women at exclusive events, offer substances. And y'all know people be hanging around these events trying to get in where they fit in. You end up in one of those rooms and all of that type stuff. So, you know, they offer substances, move to private locations, assault. Yep, plenty of people be hanging around in these luxury type events because people want that luxury lifestyle and get caught up. Key testimony so far: witness number 1, Katie Moore, pseudonym, met the brothers at a Zac Efron apartment party in 2012. I guess that's the 17-year-old, or maybe what they were just talking about in that report right there. Say she was given alcohol, then Molly, then taken to a nightclub. Yeah, it's pretty much the story they were just talking about. Waking up naked, and Alon Alexander allegedly doing that to her repeatedly, claims she was mocked afterwards. Witness number 2 testified she barricaded her bedroom door after an encounter and later reported the incident to the FBI. Defense questioned her birth certificate, attempting to undermine credibility. Expected witness count: more than 20 women may testify, and some of them will be under pseudonyms. So let's go back to some of this, but I'm going to skip it up some. And this is coming from Nightline. Let me share my screen, family. Let's go.
Was the only hyper-specialized residential brokerage in the market today focused on the top end of the market.
Yeah.
Oren's twin Alon worked as an executive in the family's company, Kent Security, in Miami. According to the indictment, the three brothers committed the alleged assaults, sometimes acting alone, sometimes with each other, and sometimes with other men, and allegedly physically restrained and held women down and ignored screams and explicit requests to stop.
The defendants allegedly used their wealth and status to recruit and pay for the travel of their intended victims.
The lurid allegations, a world apart from the life the Alexander family built for themselves.
Their parents, Shlomo and Orly, were immigrants from Israel. Their story is very much an American rags to riches story. Today, the family is multimillionaires.
In a statement to ABC News, the brothers' parents wrote in part, "We believe our sons are innocent, and if they are judged on the evidence
stay with your sons,
free from speculation or public narrative, the truth will prevail. We ask only for a fair process, grounded in facts, where their voices can finally be heard." The parents, along with Alon's wife, there at court today, along with several other supporters. All three men are fathers, Oren's wife giving birth since he was arrested.
There are a number of relatives were
Man,
there.
we locked up when you had your baby.
With one another. So the brothers have a lot of support in court.
Prosecutors expected to call at least 7 alleged victims. Attorneys also telling jurors they would show them incriminating text messages from the brothers.
Prosecutors say that the jury will see evidence of the brothers' guilt. They'll see alleged text messages between the brothers supposedly cheering on or bragging about the rapes.
The defense arguing the women who will testify are motivated in part by money.
The defense says this case is either about regret, opportunism, or money.
Yeah.
The defense says all of the accusers have either filed civil lawsuits and are out for money, or encountered the brothers, had sex willingly, and came to regret it later.
There are current.
That's what I say. Who they pissed off? You know, it's a conspiracy theory behind this. You know, they came up with that with Diddy, but where's their conspiracy theory? You know, some of this stuff, I know some of these women, all about the money and all of that type of stuff. You know, when you build a fortune like that, you know, some people want to take it from you. It is what it is. You always got a target on your back.
The brothers,
always.
Oren alone face a separate state case in Florida. The federal trial is expected to last a month. We'll, of course, continue to follow this trial as it proceeds.
So, yeah, these guys facing life in prison. Get back to the narrative-driven audio. That's from a song called Love for the Money, which I've been playing on this live stream. Shadow Empire, the documentary, is coming very soon. We're getting close to start releasing clips of that, so be looking for that. And releasing, you know, it's going to be a bundle package. These songs are going to come with the package. That's a fact. But yeah, these guys right here facing life in prison for these charges. And they're going to paint that picture that you are willing to be here. I'm pretty sure they got plenty of videos of these people partying with them. And this is way more people that was willing to testify than Diddy. Diddy didn't have 40 women, over 20 women. Let's just say that because it could be conflicting reports. Right now, I have surpassed 900,000 views. We're on the road to 1 million. We want to help the channel reach 9,000 subscribers. And we're getting there. With you, we can definitely get it there. Make sure you check out Twitch on Thursday for GPTV1 Uncut Open Files. And Open Files is about, I'm going to get on Twitch for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And we're going to talk about a trending topic that's happening that day. So it's like a pop-in thing. We're going to do that every Thursday. Pop in for that 10 minutes. And we're going to break down some stuff. That's only happening on Twitch. So I did that last week. I'm definitely interested in building up the Twitch audience. Make sure you hit that like button and the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. That way you can stay up to date for whenever I drop. Turning GPTV1 into a network. You know, building a schedule for this thing. Just a lot going on. But anyway, back to these guys. Let me get back to this story right here. So the defense strategy, main argument, the brothers. Oh, let me go here first, family. Let's go here. All right, family. All right, the main argument, the brothers, lawyers, claim all sexual encounters were consensual. They argue the prosecution is misleading or misrepresenting party culture, voluntary drug use, high-profile social circles, expect heavy focus on credibility attacks. We already know that. We already know that. Some of them people credibility gonna fall apart. That's for sure. And sometimes you get bored when you have all that money like that. Expect heavy focus on credibility attacks and timeline inconsistencies. High profile elements, celebrity proximity. Zac Efron's name surfaced because the first witness met the brothers at his apartment party. I don't think this actor got caught up in any of this stuff. I think it's just the brothers. Prosecutors say the brothers use celebrity adjacency as a lure. Hey, I know all the folks unplugged out here. I know the big name actors, this, that, and the third. Luxury real estate empire, Oren and Tall, were known for selling ultra luxury properties nationwide. Their wealth and mobility allegedly enabled the trafficking scheme. I want to see if there's something on here about that the real estate stuff they were doing. I see a few people in here. Make sure y'all click that like button. I'm saying I'm a little short on the likes. Hit that like button to help the algorithm. I want to see if I can find a little backdrop on their story. I've seen a little bit of it. And they've been talking about this story for a while now. I've been waiting on this story myself. I think this happened not too long after the Diddy trial. I want to see if I can find some of their reality show on here. I want to play a little bit of that. Let me see if I can look it up. Reality show. Let me see if I can find any of that. No, I don't see none of the I see a bunch of reports about this trial. And sometimes when these big stories come about, they can flood up timelines. Let me try Google. Stay tuned, fam. Let me look this up. I want to look a little bit into their real estate thing. Reality show. Okay, let me see. Yeah, there's still more stuff about this case. So I can't find no little clips on their reality show. I wanted to check it out a little bit. See what they're talking about on there. I'm always reluctant when I see these like motivational type things and they claim you can make all this money, do this, that, and the third, you know. I'm always skeptical of that. But that brought these guys a lot of notoriety. And when you're on TV, you meet a lot of people. You know, you start networking, and you can expand your business like that. So the TV show, the reality show, I'm pretty sure that helped them with their business model. What makes this case explosive with GPTV1 Uncut? GPTV1, power, privilege, and predation. 3 wealthy brothers leveraging elite networks to allegedly commit crimes for over a decade. Celebrity connections, pattern-based crime, the playbook narrative. Witnesses credibility battles. Expect the defense to go hard on that. That's a classic courtroom war. The scale, 40 plus accusers, 12 plus federal counts, and a decade-long timeline. The empire and allegations. Who are these brothers? Their rise in luxury real estate, the indictment. How prosecutors say the scheme worked. This will be a battle because I said during the Diddy case that he had some good lawyers. Let's call it what it is. You know, I watch a lot of these cases and I give a lawyer credit, whether it's the prosecutor or the defense. I just didn't think they had a strong RICO case in the Diddy trial. And you ought to be happy to get those couple years or whatever you got to do in there because he got time served. You know, maybe it's just time for him to sit down for a little while, you know. But these guys got way more charges. Power, nightlife, exploitation, as they call it. But some of them people, they pissed off or whatever. Some of them people on the money grab, and some of it may be true. But right as of now, it's pure allegations. I'm going to keep an eye on this. You know, just being in the rooms and, you know, you just get bored and with money and get used to telling people what to do and people not saying no to you. Having all these yes people around. You start experimenting with things. It's a money grab in there somewhere, but I'm pretty sure that some of these people was more than willing to get drugged out and all that. But I don't put nothing past nobody, you know. It is what it is. I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put nothing past anybody. That's a fact. Power, access. We all want a little money. Matter of fact, you feeling a little generous, hit me on the Cash App. Hit me on the Super Chat. Cases like this don't wrap up neatly. They don't give you easy answers. They don't give you easy answers or clean narratives. What we're watching in the Alexander brothers trial is a collision of power, privilege, and accountability. And the truth is still being fought for in real time. As more witnesses take the stand and more details come out, the picture will keep shifting. That's why we stay here night after night, cutting through the noise and looking at what actually matters. Not the headlines, not the spin, the structure underneath it all. So as this trial moves forward, stay sharp, stay curious, and don't let anyone hand you a prepackaged version of the story. You deserve better than that. And that's why GPTV1 Uncut exists. If tonight's breakdown helped you see the case more clearly, hit the like button so this conversation reaches more people. Subscribe if you want to stay locked in as we follow every turn of this trial. And as always, thank you for being part of this community. I'll see you in the next one. And I want to leave y'all with this narrative-driven audio. Experimenting. It's called Love for the Money. Let's go.
Came up out the concrete, dust on my sneakers. Dark nights, cold streets, talking to the dreamers. Whispers in the alley say the world don't need us. But I saw a throne in the smoke like Jesus. Heart of a soldier, hands of a builder. Mind like a king, but the pain got realer. Cameras show the wars that the world won't witness. Shatter empire, I was born in the trenches. Love for the money, but the money don't love you. Crawled out the fire, but the flames still touch you. From the mud, from the bottom, yeah, I came from the struggle. Now I'm standing on the mountain, watching how the world hustle. Love for the money, but the money don't love you. Love for the money, but the money don't love you. Bloodlines built empires, legends and ghosts. Families torn apart for who wanted it most. We was chasing silver, chasing gold, chasing hope. Trying to pay for a future on a promise note. Seen kings fall quick when the hunger got louder. Seen angels turn stone when the city got prouder. Shadow empire, I survived that thunder. Bag in my hand, but I'm thinking about wonder. Love for the money, but the money don't love you. Crawled out the fire, but the flames still touch you. From the mud, from the bottom, yeah, I came from the struggle. Now I'm standing on the mountain, watching how the world hustle. Love for the money, but the money don't love you. For the money, but the money don't love you. Love for the money, but the money don't love you. For the money, but the money don't love you. We ain't never had nothing, so we learn how to take. Turn hunger to diamonds, turn pressure to fate. If the gold ever fades, remember the pain, remember the rain, remember the name.